Roberto Monaco here with InfluenceOlogy with my friend Peter Scott. What's up, bud?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Pleasure to
I'm
be on here
fantastic.
today.
I'm fantastic, man. I'm sure you're happier. Your book launched today, huh?
Yes, I am incredibly happy. It's been a year in the making, Roberto. So as long as we've known each other longer than that, I've been writing this book, and to have it launched today is just a dream come true.
I love that, man. So I know we put a lot of hard work, and here's what I just did this morning.
Yep.
This is the copy of my Amazon. I don't know if you guys can see here the copy I printed. So I just ordered my copy of the Fearless Mindset, the Entrepreneur's Guide to Get Fit in Less Time. Who doesn't want that? Double your income. Who doesn't want that? And become unstoppable. Who doesn't want that, man? Yes, yes, yes. Power of three. Love that, man.
I love that. Thank you.
I love that. So can you tell the purpose of this call, to do an interview, to add value to our InfluenceOlogy community here? Can you tell us, to get a background for those who don't know you, why have you decided to become a coach and inspire people and help people?
Absolutely. So I wrote a book, first of all, with this book coming out called The Fearless Mindset, because my entire life, Roberto, has been consumed by fear. From the moment I was a child, I mean, when I was 10 years old, I had to sit down in a courtroom with my mother, my grandparents, and an attorney and tell my mom to her face she was no longer suitable to raise me because of her alcoholism. You know, at 10 years old, and at 10, I had no idea what sort of impact that had on my life, of course. But over the years after that, I look back and realize that I was just consumed by fear. I was wanting to seek love and approval and validation from everyone outside of me because I didn't feel it inside of me. And another really challenging event was losing my father. When I was 25 years old, my father literally gave up on life and drank himself to death. And both of my parents were consumed by fear. That's actually one of the big lessons I learned. And I asked my dad, why did you do this to yourself? Why did you do this to me? And he said, because he was afraid of not being enough. He had so much pressure, so much fear of not living up to his parents' expectations. And so when that happened, the most traumatic experience of my life, I just made the commitment to never let myself, a loved one, or anyone be consumed or controlled by fear ever again. And I, read books, I attended courses, I hired mentors. I've experienced the fear of public speaking, which I'm sure some of the Influence Academy followers can relate to. And that's why I hired you as my mentor, because you've helped me work through that. And I'm just committed to helping people change their experience with fear and actually create the courage and confidence to go out and do the things that scare them.
I love that, man. I love that. By the way, for those who haven't heard, this guy speaks is a phenomenal speaker, phenomenal. So the overall message, the fearless mindset, when you hear that, I know because I know you well, someone thinking like, well, I don't have fear, but then they don't have what they want in life, right?
Yes.
Can you explain to us, educate us here, the listeners, how the idea of fearless mindset, not only for someone who acknowledge they have fear, but someone who say, oh, I don't have it, but when they look at their lives, they do, because what's hold them back then, right?
Absolutely.
Can you explore a little bit, talk more about the overall idea of the message itself, the fearless mindset? What does that mean?
For sure, I can. Mindset. And just through my years, Roberto, of coaching and mentoring a lot of high-performing entrepreneurs, I've realized there are three types of people really that are impacted by fear. One is the person like myself who knows that fear is something that has slowed me down or stopped me, and I'm committed to doing and understanding and uncovering ways to overcome that, right? There's the second person that is also impacted by fear, but is not committed to actually changing that. They feel that fear and they know it's stopping them, but they don't have the courage to actually go and overcome it. And the third person doesn't even realize that fear is ultimately what slows them down. That's the most challenging place to be in, is not knowing that that's the impact. And so when I wrote this book, when I talk about being fearless, I don't mean being without fear. In writing this book, I interviewed some of the most high-performing entrepreneurs I know of, and every single person has said they've experienced fear. So what I've learned is that being fearless is actually having the courage, the commitment, and the confidence to go out and do that thing that scares you. And over time, your fears become less and less and less.
I love that. So who's this book for?
This book is for, number one, anyone who is wanting to conquer their fears and really live the life that they only dare to imagine. That's a big thing. So that person that wants to overcome those, this is for them. This is for someone who, I wrote this book really for entrepreneurs, because I believe that the one thing that slows entrepreneurs down is that fear, that doubt, that limiting belief. It could be the fear of failure. It could be the fear of judgment. And I want to help them put themselves in a place of power to go do what scares them. It's for also the stay-at-home mom who is overwhelmed with how busy she is. You know, she is committed to her purpose in life as a mother, but she's neglecting her health and fitness. She's neglecting her other relationships. So it's anyone who wants to figure out how to actually create daily habits and rituals that allows you to neglect nothing in your life. Like, it helps you prioritize everything so that you feel more confident, you have more energy, you get more done in less time, and ultimately you live a more happy and fulfilling life.
You know what I love about your message, man, and I cannot wait to read the book. I'm super excited to read the book. Is that a lot of, maybe you're thinking in a school, well, man, I don't have fear. I make things happen. But then the question I have for you, the listener, is this: what's causing the anxiety? What's causing the overthinking? What's causing the nights that you don't sleep well? What's causing the night that you wake up at 3 a.m? What do you think is behind that? Right? Because a lot of people, they push through. They are forcing. But again, they have the dialogue becomes a fear-generated instrument. Right? And if you don't know how to control that, man, they're just like, yeah, you can be pushing through it, but the quality of your life, the experience of your life decreases. So that's why I love that about your message.
Yeah.
So,
I want to share something real quick, Roberto, and this is important about the topic of fear. And this is something I learned from a friend and mentor named Jesse Elder. I interviewed him for the book as well. And he introduced me to the concept of distinguishing the two types of fear. You see, there are rational fears that keep us alive, that are good. And there are irrational fears that keep us from living. The challenge is that both of those fears feel exactly the same in our body. You know, we start to breathe more shallow. Our heart races. Our palms are sweaty. We have this lump in our throat. All those things happen when we feel fear. The good thing is that if you're in a life or death situation, if you're being chased by a lion, that's a great experience, right? But if you're standing on stage wanting to share your message and impact the world, and you feel that same thing, that's not good. It keeps you from showing up fully and having the impact you possibly can. I know you work with a lot of chiropractors, a lot of dentists, a lot of committed, passionate entrepreneurs. And you know, what I want them to take away from this, and the listener and viewer to take away from this, is, okay, when you feel that come up, how can you classify it as an irrational fear, and know that the only way for you to truly overcome that once and for all is to continue to put yourself in that position and do it over and over and over again. That courage and that confidence becomes a result from doing that scares you, rather than a requirement of having to wait for it.
I love that. It's so true, because people, there's all kinds of research done about the number one fear in America forever, public speaking. And it's something that is always like didn't resonate well with me, because nobody that I know has ever died from public speaking.
No.
Ever. In history, ever. Like, nobody ever died. You know? So it's kind of like, I don't know about it, even though I know it's a big issue that people have. But that's the fear that is like, dude, it's not rational. It's like irrational, because you're not gonna die. So I love that distinction. So I know you big time. I follow you on Facebook, and not every time, but you post a lot about CrossFit and working out. And I know I love working out too. So why do you think the working out is connected to fear, is connected to income, is connected to high performance? Why is that?
Absolutely. So the biggest impact for me, from my experience, Roberto, is it has changed my state and my physiology. So, you know, there are days when I still feel fear, of course. But when I start my day with a really intense workout and I conquer something in my body, I almost leverage my body as a tool. It skyrockets my energy. It allows me to think more clearly throughout the day, focus for longer periods of time, feel more confident, and ultimately take so much more action than I ever could if I didn't feel that way. So, my commitment is literally to be in motion and sweat every single day. Now, you don't have to do CrossFit. That's a really intense sport, but as long as you're moving and you start your day with that, it puts you in the state of peak performance where you feel powerful. And powerful is not, I don't mean powerful in a controlling way, like you're controlling everything, but it's having the commitment to take massive action no matter what else is happening and what could slow you down. And it literally compresses time. Like I look at my day and I feel like when I commit to my habits and rituals, I can get done in 12 hours what takes most people 4 hours to do. So that person who's watching this says, great idea, but I'm just too busy. No one has the time to prioritize their fitness. You have to make the commitment to create the time, knowing that when you do that, you actually get more done in less time, and it creates more time ultimately in your life to spend with your loved ones, to relax on the beach, to do all this.
You know what? I love that because when I was working for Tony Robbins before, back in the almost 8 years ago, man, it's crazy. So what I was training the other speakers for Tony, and I used to open up back then and say, look, if you're not working out in the morning, it's cost you money. That's the first people like, I thought you're going to talk about public speaking. I said, I am.
Yeah.
So the thing was, I'm 100% aligned with you that your physiology shapes everything, man, everything. So so I know you coach a lot of people in your coaching program. What is the reason people don't want to work? They don't have this habit of working out. What's preventing them? Because they know, everybody knows, not new. But what is the gap between, I know you talk about habits in a moment, but what stopped them from doing it?
Yeah. So number one, it's not a lack of information, right? We know we are inundated with information about fitness and about nutrition. We know what we need to do to be healthy and to feel good. But what we don't do is we don't rewire a lot of limiting beliefs or lies that we tell ourselves about fitness. The busy entrepreneur, number one, thinks that they don't have time to work out, right? And I shared why it's so important to reshape that belief. I mean, Richard Branson, right? One of the most successful entrepreneurs on the planet in history was asked, what is the secret to his success? He was interviewed for a news channel, was asked, what is the secret to success? He said his secret is that he works out and exercises every single day. This is Richard Branson. This is a guy who's in a billion-dollar company every single day. So if he can do it, I think a lot of us can do it.
Yes.
The other thing is a lot of people feel like fitness isn't fun. And the reason is because they probably had a bad experience with forcing themselves to reach a goal. So let's say you want to lose weight, right? A lot of people will say, okay, all I need to do is hire a personal trainer and they're going to give me this exercise routine. I'm just going to go do that. But if you don't enjoy that process, if a personal trainer handed me something that said, go run on a treadmill every day, I don't care how great the results would be, I would never do it because I don't enjoy it. So the key is to take the time to think about what you enjoy about fitness, whether it's being outside or being a part of a group or, variety for me is huge. So I'll do CrossFit, I'll go rock climbing, I'll go running, I'll lift weights, I'll do all these things. I'll do yoga because I like switching things up. So those are a couple of the biggest things that really slow people down. And the biggest belief that I want the listener to take away from this is this: you are the primary decision maker at the center of your own existence. You are that person. So your life is literally the result of your daily actions and habits. A lot of people think, oh, my parents didn't work out. It's the environment that I grew up in, so I adopted those same beliefs. You can change those. Right? You can rewire. Some people have better genetics than others. True, but genetics aren't the reason why you can't be fit.
That's true.
It's a shift in perspective on how you view yourself, the world around you, and ultimately your commitment to your health. So
here's a question. If we understand, you just covered that by you having a powerful physiology and exercise shapes your confidence, empowers you to take more action and get results. But before that, we talk about the message of fearless mindset. Is there any fear of starting to working out?
My gosh, yes, there's massive fear.
So what is the fear of what is it? What do you think?
The fear is I'm going to fail again. That's the biggest fear because a lot of people have started diets, have started exercise routines, and didn't get the results that they wanted in 30, 60, or 90 days, so they quit. And you do that enough times, it's so terrifying to start again and feel that feeling of failure. Now, number one, I think failure is one of the greatest gifts in life. I really do.
I
My
agree.
commitment when I start something, especially in business, Roberto, and you know this, is like, for me to be successful, I need to commit to fail as often and as quickly as possible, because that's kind of the path you have to take, right? And so if you've experienced that in your body, then it's time to say, okay, let's let go of this need of overnight results without effort. Yes, we're marketed that, but it's not true. So what could you do to make a permanent lifestyle change? A friend of mine coined this term. His name's Michael Fishman, called, start one, stop one. Love this concept. What is one thing you can start in your fitness or in your nutrition, and one thing you can stop? Okay. Just start there. Like, just start one thing and stop one thing. Don't make a huge radical change that's not sustainable. But if you take those baby steps over time, that self-discipline and that willpower becomes literally unconscious. It's just how you live your life. It's your identity. You are a healthy human being, and you are living a living example of how to live a healthy lifestyle.
Love that. Love that. Start one.
Stop one. Yeah.
Love that. So let's talk about people listen to us, then they get inspired, they get your book, fired up, start reading. And then they go, okay, I'm going to work out today, work out tomorrow. But how do you make stick? How you make, I know you're a big time habits guy. How do you create habits? How you create habits in your life?
Great question. So number one, I always start with the end in mind. So I always start by getting clear on what is the destination and results that I want. I set 90-day goals. And I do that because it allows me to have a vision and something to shoot for. And then I'll break that goal down into different benchmarks and say, okay, I want to be there 90 days from now. What do I need to commit to in the next 30 days? And that just makes it more achievable. If you look 90 days out or a year out, it can be kind of terrifying, right? But you look 30 days, you go, okay, I know I can do that. And then I break it down and set different habits that I commit to every single day. One is working out every day. Another is having a green smoothie. Another is meditating. Another is studying. I always want to study something related to public speaking or marketing, things that put me in this powerful state. And more than anything else is, not only do I commit to habits, but I publicly declare it. I tell my loved ones, my family, my friends, I'm actually always part of a mastermind or an accountability group, because there are times when I may not feel like doing it, but because other people are doing it and they are relying on me, then I am more committed to doing it. So like having access to a mentor, to a coach, being a part of a mastermind, having that level of accountability is so huge, and allows you to rely on something bigger than just willpower and self-discipline, because that only lasts so far.
I love that. I love that. So you have besides the book, what else you have to offer our listeners here? What else you have?
Yeah. So first of all, for anyone who gets the book, you also get access to $321 of bonuses for free.
Nice.
So when I wrote this book, I interviewed, like I said earlier, amazing entrepreneurs, Roberto, you being one of them. And so anyone who gets a book will get a link and get access to all of those interviews that I did. They'll also get access to a 4-part video series I created for free around health and fitness. And you'll also be invited to my upcoming event. I have the 3-day Fearless Life Academy happening in San Diego, September 25th through the 27th, Friday through Sunday. And it's with a small group of about 12 to 20 male entrepreneurs. And we're going to dive deep into health and fitness, into mindset, into relationships, and into business, and really have this experience of, number one, leveraging our body as a tool to face our fears. And then number two, learning exactly in those 3 days how to create these habits and rituals, how to actually clarify those goals, break them down, commit to them, and then be held accountable as part of this brotherhood, a part of this mastermind after the event. So it's going to be an incredible experience, and I'd love for anyone to interested to reach out to me or learn more at thefearlesslifeacademy.com. Love it.
What's your email? So people interested when I reach out, what's your email if you don't mind?
The listener can email me at peter@designafearlesslife.com. So that's my private email.
Love it. Now, let's say you have a million people in a stadium, right? Let's make 10 million, man. 10 million.
I like it.
10 million, a huge stadium. And then they give the mic, and then they'll say, go. And you can talk about anything. And you'd have just one quick message, just one point, one message. What would you tell them?
I love feeling this. I love imagining right
what
now.
would you tell? I know there's a lot of things, but what's just the one thing? They'll be like 10 minutes. Like, hey, tell me, man. Tell me, man. Tell me. What would you tell them?
The one message I would share is this. This courage, this level of courage and confidence that we are seeking in life is a result from doing those things that scare us, not a requirement. A lot of people that feel fear think they need to feel more courageous and more confident before doing that. And I lived 28 years of my life living that way. And it led me to live really, honestly, a kind of mundane existence. I wasn't hitting my goals. I wasn't achieving the quality of life that I wanted. It wasn't until I realized that I had to put myself outside of my comfort zone consistently over and over and over again, where I was terrified, and continue to do those things in business, to continue to have those difficult conversations in relationships, to continue to push my body, to get out of bed at 6 a.m. and go to a CrossFit workout when I didn't feel like it. Over time, those daily choices and actions are what made up my life. And so that courage and that confidence that I feel today is not something I was born with. It's not something anyone is born with, but it is something that can be created over time, and it's a result from committing to doing that thing that scares you.
Love that. That's powerful. Peter Scott, my friends, highly encourage. I just got my copy. Just go today to Amazon and get the Fearless Mindset.
Right here.
Right there. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I was gonna go to a book launch and get one, but now I want to buy online.
Well, thank you. I cannot wait to see you, Roberto, tomorrow night at the book launch.
I appreciate that, and you're gonna put a link here for the book too. Thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you.